I've got my glasses on today, and I'm wondering, does this make me seem more intelligent? Do I look more sophisticated as a result of wearing glasses? Maybe I should look in the mirror and find out. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? And it's interesting that we think that looking in the mirror, we see a reflection of ourselves. I want to challenge your thinking on that, because I believe that when we look in the mirror, we see a reflection of who we think we are. So if you've been thinking that you've got a big nose, when you look in the mirror, you will see the big nose. You won't see how it is that it fits in with the rest of your face. You won't see that it's that wonderful masterpiece. You'll see the big nose because you believe that's what it is that you've got. Or that moment where it is that you get a spot. And I know, guys, you get spots too, that you get a spot and you're convinced it's huge and everybody's going to notice, and what are people going to think and what are they going to say? When you look in the mirror, you see that huge spot. And so therefore you are projecting. Your thoughts are saying, that's how it is I look. I'm ugly. I'm fat. Whatever it is that, however it is that you describe yourself, when you look in the mirror, that's exactly what it is that you see looking back. Now for me, I believe that I'm awesome. And so when I look in the mirror, oh my gosh, awesome Carol is there. Wow. Because that's what it is I believe. That's what it is I'm telling myself. And that becomes the reflection that I see. I mean, I quite literally look in the mirror every day, because there's a mirror in the bathroom when you're brushing your teeth. And that's probably the most I look in the mirror. But I look in the mirror and I'll think, oh my gosh, you're amazing. I say to God, oh my gosh, you've created an amazing masterpiece. Because that is how it is I see myself. So when I look in the mirror, that's what gets reflected back to me. So I want to say, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? And as a result, what do you declare over yourself? And it's, I mean, okay, so I say it verbally. I say it so that I can hear it. But so much of our conversation with ourselves that we have internally. So internally, you know, you're saying, yeah, I knew that didn't work, or that doesn't fit, or oh my gosh, I'm still looking fat, or I'm still ugly, or whatever it is that you use to describe yourself. I think that possibly that's what you're saying when you're looking in the mirror. And therefore, it's almost like the mirror says, oh, that's what it is I need to present. Okay, I'm going to do my best at presenting that. So if you are saying that you are ugly, clearly that's what it is that you want to see. All right, then, let's see how it is that we can skew this so that he, she feels comfortable with who it is that they are. I'm going to say to you, no, change that narrative. Change that. Start by thinking great thoughts about yourself. Because whatever package you've come in, whether it's, you know, the good, the bad, or the flabby, whatever packages that you've come in, that's the packaging. The who you are that you want to see reflected in the mirror is the who you are on the inside. It's that diamond. It is that gem. But first you need to connect with it in order to be able to see it. Because you can't see it if you don't know that it's there. And so I'm saying to you, oh my gosh, I know I don't know you, but I know that inside of you, there is an amazing diamond. I'm into diamonds. If anybody's listening and you'd like to send me a diamond gift, I'm good with that. I believe that inside of you, there is a diamond that's waiting to show itself. But you have to believe that it is, even if you can't see it yet. Yes, believe that it is before you see it. So the world says seeing is believing. I'm a woman of God, so I'm going to say believe it and then you'll see it. But I think that that's equally applicable even if you don't believe in God. Because the laws of the universe are the laws of the universe, whether you believe them or not. It's a bit like gravity. I can say to you, I don't believe in gravity. Gravity is not real. It doesn't exist. but it's still going to be operating because actually it's one of the laws of nature. So I'm saying to you, it's time for you to believe that there is more to you than you have currently settled for and are currently experiencing. And if you dig deep, I'm sure that you will find some gems that you didn't remember that were there, or you think, oh my gosh, wow. Because people are drawn to you, whether it is masses or just kind of one person or a couple of people, they're drawn to you for a reason. There is something on the inside of you that is projecting even when you don't know it is. Sometimes that may not be the great stuff, but essentially it's the goodness on the inside of you that's shining brightly. But because you haven't recognized it, you haven't really connected it to the power source. Yeah, let's say it like that. So it's a light and it is shining a bit, but it's a dull shine because you haven't actually flicked the switch and allowed it to shine more brightly. So today, look in the mirror and see what you see. In the first instance, just look in the mirror like you would ordinarily do and see what it is that you see and be conscious of that. And actually write that down. And is that who it is that you want to be? And if it isn't, then it's time to start looking at the narrative that you're telling yourself, because it's the narrative that's determining the reflection. I'm going to say that again. It's the narrative that you are telling yourself that's determining the reflection that you see. And this is particularly interesting. Mind you, everything's particularly interesting to me. But when I was in hospital last year, when I looked in the mirror for the first time, or the first time I can remember, I didn't know who that person was. So the features looked familiar, but I had no idea who she was. And I kept going to the bathroom and she kept showing up. And I came to the conclusion that wherever it was I was, that she was going to be there also. Yep, I know I'm talking about myself in the third person. And I came to the conclusion that must be me, because when it was that I saw her the first time, I was in the bathroom with a white nurse. So it couldn't have been her. So it had to have been me. And I'm still wondering if the nurse had been black, whether I would have come to a different conclusion. But I didn't know who this person was. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I need to, seeing as she's going to show up all the time, I'm going to need to find out a little bit more about who she is so that it doesn't feel kind of that I'm hanging out with a stranger. And as I got to know her better, I realised that she actually was me and not someone separate. Yeah, there's a whole new meaning to me, myself, and I. But I began to realise that, oh my gosh, this woman is amazing. Oh, I like her. Oh, I love her. She makes me laugh. She encourages me. She inspires me. She's awesome. And that was a great revelation for me. But it all started by looking in the mirror. And so my narrative actually hasn't changed in the last 12 months. I have quite literally every day looked at me and thought, oh my gosh, oh wow. And that's whether or not I'm having a good day, whether I'm having a bad day. Who I am when I look in the mirror remains the same. Because the core of who you are, whether the storms are raging, whether, all hell's breaking loose, the core of who you are remains the same. I would say to you that you are awesome, because I actually believe that we are all awesome, but we all have different flavors. And so it's about finding your flavor and owning it. And one of the things that actually you can do is that if you've got a whiteboard marker that you can write on and wipe off, write on your bathroom mirror, I am enough. Because so many times it is that we think that we need something else. Something else would make it work better. You know, like if the salons were open and I could get my hair done or my eyebrows or my bits waxed, then I would be so much better. I'm saying to you that those things are great, but you are enough just the way you are. So yeah, write on your mirror, I am enough. So that when it is that you look in the mirror and thoughts start to wander, maybe, I'm not sure about that. That what it is that you're seeing is that whatever it is that may look like, you are still enough. It's time to use the thoughts that you have to project what you want. And I'm not saying to pretend that stuff, it isn't pretending that you don't have that spot if there's a spot there and that you need to treat it, or if there's something you need to do about it. I'm not saying about pretending those things don't exist. Acknowledge them, but that's not where you live. You live in a greater place because of who you are. And like for me as a Christian, I would say that greater is he that lives in me than is in the world. But that's my thing. But it's still that whole thing that there is so much more to you than you have settled for. And based on that, it means that you have a choice. And today I want to say to you, look in the mirror and choose who's looking back, because you are awesome. I just want to send you lots of love from my heart to yours.